Dr. Kevin Connors again. We're going over some more of your genetic profile. In this section, we're going to be talking about glutathione. It won't be on page 9 of your profile, as this is updated regularly, and I am looking at the practitioner profile here. So when we look at your glutathione genes, we've expanded these genes as more data has come out. There's several that we want to pay closer attention to. Now, what is glutathione? Glutathione is your main intracellular antioxidant in your body. It's extremely important. You may be going to a practitioner who's currently giving you glutathione right now. That's not always a good idea, as you're going to see as we go over this. So glutathione is normally recycled in a pathway in your body. It's oxidized and reduced, and so it's recycled and reused in your body, and it's fed through a specific genetic pathway called your transsulfuration pathway. The purpose of glutathione is to get rid of oxidants in your body, oxidizing agents. So it's a reducer to get rid of these oxidizing agents. That's called an antioxidant. Now, your body needs oxidizing agent for a period of time. It helps kill things, and that's the purpose of oxidation in your body. However, excess oxidation can cause a lot of problems, and our diets and exposure to toxins and such can leave a person in a state of hyperoxidation, which can lead to cancer and all sorts of things. So we have to look at these genes. The first family of genes in the glutathione pathway are the CTH genes right here. The most important and the most researched of all these family of genes is this top one. Now, this particular person does not have a defect in there. So he's got other glutathione CTH defects, but don't know that I would jump on really supporting this. And plus, again, would you give a person straight glutathione? Typically, I don't hardly ever give straight glutathione. We give precursors, we support the pathways. So if you give straight glutathione, number one, it's not really readily absorbed. It's not readily utilized. You want to help the pathway itself. You don't always want to give an end product. Now you'll see in some of these it's really easy to give an end product because there isn't a negative feedback loop on production. But on some of them you don't, and this one is typically you don't want to give that. SHMT genes in this glutathione pathway, this person doesn't really have a big problem there either, even though this top one and this bottom one are more important, you could say. But still, maybe I wouldn't jump on the glutathione support pathway with him, because you can see his other genes, the GCL genes, are really in pretty good shape. And the GSS genes are really in fairly good shape too. Now, he's kind of an anomaly as far as my patients go, because he's got a lot less problems than a lot of my patients do. So these are the genes that we look at with a glutathione cycle. And my report gives you, hey, you got pretty good function of most of the glutathione genes with this individual. So that's really good news for this person. But if you look at your report, you might see a lot of 2s in here, a lot of 1s, where this person has a lot of blanks. That is why I may have wanted to support this pathway. Now, it's really important if I make the recommendation for something like GSH Assist. Oh, that's a glutathione product. So I'm going to start taking my own, which is just straight glutathione or cysteine. There's a reason why I make a recommendation like this, depending on other pathway defects. Not to get too technical, but if you have defects in your CBS pathway, which is way down on this chart, so way down at the bottom of here, but if you have CBS defects, you do not want to give cysteine and you don't want to give straight glutathione. So there's reasons behind the madness when I make a recommendation for somebody, just so you know. So it's not just happenstance. So you have to look at the whole ginormous picture in order to come up with the recommendations that I come up with. But I may not even recommend anything for this particular person. If he had a lot more defects, then we may support that, especially on his symptoms. If this person didn't have a lot of symptoms that would warrant it either. All right, that's glutathione. I hope that helps. Understand, you have to look at the whole pathway. So we also talk about glutathione when we talk about the transsulfuration pathway because that's what feeds it. We also talk about glutathione when we get down here to talk about the SOD detox pathway because SOD feeds glutathione. Now this person has a lot of SOD gene defects, which isn't going to tell us to support glutathione, but we have to support the other side of this pathway. So indirectly, we're supporting glutathione when we support the SOD pathway because they intermingle. Follow me? I know it gets super complicated, but it's really not that complicated. So I'm trying to take the complication out of it. That's why we have these videos. Keep watching them. I hope they help and that they're a blessing to you. Bye-bye.